Hey, in this video, we're just going to cover a simple function called AutoSum, but it does a lot of cool stuff for you. So here I've got a little data set, and it's got some random addresses in it and some inspection dates on which, say, a company did some inspections and the number of minutes associated with each inspection. And we just want to add them up. So we're just going to go down here to the bottom of the sheet. And what we're going to do is, in the Home tab, over here on the right, you'll see the Editing palette. Now, the icons are supposed to be functionally organized, as are the palettes, but the AutoSum is a mathematics function. And, you know, the sort and filter is not really an editing function either, and neither is bind and select, but whatever. So you can find the AutoSum there. It's also over here in the Formulas tab, which is much more logical. You'll see it over here. And so this symbol is the Greek symbol for add all this stuff up. It's called the sigma. And so if you're here, you go click on AutoSum, and what happens is Excel just looks up, in this case, and it drops a equal sign sum, and it gives you the range immediately above it. And conveniently stops there, although it wouldn't matter because Excel would ignore the non-numeric value. So then you could just hit enter and you get the answer. It just happens to be 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, that's a nice and easy way to do this. There are other functions that you can do as well. And of course, this works horizontally. So if I drop this here and let's say I paste this, I'll copy it and I'll paste it. Let's try that one more time. Copy it, transpose it. There we go. Okay, so this works horizontally as well. So if I were to simply go over here to the AutoSum function, and here I'm using it in the Home tab, and it looks horizontally. And so that's kind of cool as well. Now, let's say I had some data that was adjacent. In fact, I'll just copy this again. So here I've got a bunch of adjacent data. If I do an AutoSum here, it's going to look left, right? Now I can autofill that, and now I've got the sums here on the row-wise. And if I were to AutoSum here vertically, then I get the vertical sums, and I can autofill that way. And so that 2056 should be the sum of all of these things, and you can see that down here in the bottom of my sheet. 2056 is the sum. So it's kind of a neat function. So we'll make those bold for now so we can keep track of them. And so the next thing I want to show you is, let's say, for example, we're down here, and I'm going to delete that, and we go to the Formulas tab, and we pull down the AutoSum instead of simply clicking on it. So the default is sum, but we could pull down here and click on average, and Excel drops our average in there for us. And you know, we could accomplish the same thing over here with this data. So if I were to block all this and paste it there, and instead of doing a sum over here on in Q2, I could simply do an average. It would look left, and then I can accomplish the same thing here, and then here, same thing. Pull that down, and autofill that laterally. And now, since all these columns are the same, I'm getting the same average when I go vertically, but of course I'm getting different averages when I go horizontally. And so, you know, we can test this to make sure it works right simply by blocking all these values and looking down here, and we see, yeah, the count is 44 and the average is 46.727272, so forth. So works just fine. Great. Now you probably noticed when I pulled down the AutoSum function here that we also had the count, the max, the min, and if we pull up more functions, we've got some other options here. We're going to explore those in another video, so I'm just going to pull the pin on this one for now, since we got basically some shortcuts here that allow us to not have to type in formulas, but to get some of the stuff that we want quick and easy.